Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for everyone to joining us for another webinar. Actually, this is the first webinar for 2026. Uh, we got a very special guest, Pushpinder Bedi. Pushpinder Bedi will discuss all the changes for immigrations for Australia. So that will be a lot of information will be helpful for the students or migration who are in process. Just to let you know, this webinar is only for education purposes, so this is not um, proper or legal advice for migrations or student visa. So if you guys have any questions regarding of this webinar, you can contact to us directly, or you can contact to our guest speaker, Purvinder Bedi. So all details will be shared with you guys after the webinar. So I will send you email in details, all the questionnaire, the presentation slides of this webinar to you guys. Um, so thank you. Thank you so much, Pushpinder Bedi, to joining us today. We really appreciated your time and effort. I'll quickly share my screen. Just quickly brief about our website, which is Notre Dame College Alumni Association website. Um, so firstly, I'd love to request all the members, those who haven't renew or purchase your membership yet, please do purchase your membership as soon as possible, because in July our membership fees will change. So where you can do is once you log in under the membership, you can purchase membership. You can click on it, and that will take you to the purchase membership option for yearly or 10 yearly. Um, so if you guys need any other information, so you guys got my contact number, you can email me or you can call me directly, and I can help you guys through to process uh, how to purchase the memberships or how to navigate our website. At the moment, I'm gonna not going to take too much time, so I will pass it to Tawhid to continue the webinar, because there will be lots more exciting informations to share with you guys. So I'm passing to Tawhid to take over, please. Thank you.
Sure. Someone let me know when you can see the slide back.
Yes,
Yes, we
we can
can.
see. Yep, thank you.
Perfect. So as Simon was giving the quick intro, basically for expectation management, we have got a lot of requests actually when we are running the webinar series that a lot of students, a lot of alumni member were interested about this topic. So we have done some research. We got some frequently asked question. So we'll come to that in a moment. But if you think about who will be mostly getting the benefit out of this session, we believe that will be the students who are planning to migrate and come to Australia for study purpose and other long-term career plans. So that's basically the agenda and the objective of the session. A few general rule I'll go through, but before that, we live in a land where we would like to acknowledge the country. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land which we meet, we work, we pay our respect to the elder past and present, and I extend the respect to all the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people. Anyone joining us today, we will recognize and continue the connection to the land, water, culture, and the community. So with that note, Simon already covered a bit of intro about the alumni page, the Notre Dame Alumni Australia, the official page, and how people get connected, stay together, exchange idea, get benefit from the community. So a couple of house rules for housekeeping. That is, it's an interactive session. All the past webinar that we have run, we have got really good feedback that keeps us motivated to, bring new topics, new guests, and new members. So feel free to raise your hand if you have any question. So we'll moderate that and facilitate. We might wait for the speaker to finish a certain topic and wait for the right moment to give you the floor. And we would encourage everyone to mute yourself, which is just a common practice to make sure that there is no noise and other things. So, with that note, I'm very pleased to welcome our guest. I'll I don't think I'll be able to do the right justice by giving the introduction. I would request brother to introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Tawid Bhai. Good evening. Salam alaikum. Namaskar to everyone. My name is Pushminder Bedi. I'm also a migrant in Australia. We came across to Australia quite a few years ago. I'm a migration agent based in Melbourne. This is our contact number 0422499861. So obviously the Australia code +61 before that. We will be talking about all the prospects, what a migrant may ask, may had doubts about, or want to ask the questions about. I've been in the industry for quite some time, so pretty much I know most of the answers. But if there is something which I don't know, which can be a possibility, we will always come back to you with that one. Next one, please, Toji.
Sure.
That's our contact details. That are the types of visas which we deal in. All Australian visas, visa cancellations, refusals, ART. That is to do with something when people are in Australia. If their visa gets refused, that's where they go to a tribunal or to the Minister for Appeal. RPL skill assessments. That's to do with the student visas post study plus education counseling, PYP, PT, all those kinds of things. Tell us about it, and we do all those things as well. Next slide, please. One thing very important, the information provided in tonight's seminar is general purpose only. It may or may not fit your individual needs. Please do not take it as that because I had told on this seminar something to do. This is just general purpose information. Obviously, I'm a migration agent. I do abide by code of conduct of we have got a policing body called OMARA, Office of Migration Agents. So based on that, I'm letting everyone know this information provided will be general only. We are sharing this information on Facebook anyway, so please do not record, photograph, film, copy, or try to cutting small snips out of it. This is all general purpose information. Thank you. Next one,
Thank
please.
you.
This is something very important, that how to find someone, whether someone is qualified or not. So all Australia based migration agents, like I mentioned earlier, come under the Office of Migration Agents Registration Authority, OMARA. They always tell you about, so always find a registered migration agent based in Australia. Next one, please. Now, the easiest way to do is you just go to Google and type in for registered migration agents. Now, there could be many time people coming over that if you cannot see the person's name, surname, Mara number, business name, or their any other details here, if this doesn't comes with their picture, their full address, email, phone number, website, which means they are not. I've come across so many people who said that the person told them they have got a provisional license there that is coming over, the website hasn't been updated, or blah blah, lots and lots of things. So please don't get conned, because so if you can see the person's picture here, person's details here, which means the person cannot con you, person cannot do any scam with you. So this is the way to find it. Google, uh, migration agents, registered migration agent. This is the website which it will come, and on the left hand side you can search for a person's name, family name, Mara number, etc., and all those details will come. Thank you. Now, many a times we'll start with obviously migration to Australia is something a very vast topic, but looking at the majority of the questions which may come across, we'll talk about the general skilled migration, general student visa, someone who's actually studying at the moment and then they want to come to Australia to study. And then afterwards, after they are finished or they are finishing study, what's the post study things that they need to do, and after that how can someone get PR about it. Now let's talk about it one by one. I want to tell you one thing as well. Obviously I'm not from Bangladesh, as you may have noticed. Doesn't means I can speak English. I can also speak Hindi as well. अगर किसी की अंग्रेजी ना अच्छी हो तो हमसे वो हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं। सो भाषा का मत देखिएगा कि हमको इंग्लिश नहीं आती है तो हम कैसे इनके साथ बात करेंगे। हाँ, मैं बंगाली नहीं बोल सकता या समझ सकता, पर मैं सर्टेनली हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ। ऑब्वियसली इंग्लिश में तो बात कर ही रहा हूँ और पंजाबी भी बात कर सकता हूँ। सो प्लीज़ ये मत देखिएगा। अब कमिंग बैक टू द, बिकॉज ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन विल बी shared in English, so that's why we'll keep it to English only for the time being. Now, let's talk about when someone applies for a student visa to Australia. These are the few things which a person, as a parent or as the individual student applicant, would need to know. First one is clear career pathway. Now, you cannot come to Australia thinking. I can give you some examples, like someone is doing B-commerce and they say that they want to do medical in Australia because say for example medical professionals have got a more chance of PR pretty much. So that cannot be done. So you need to have a clear career pathway, study progression, and there must not be any gaps in between. Your study history should have uh, like step by step that should be followed on. It should not have major gaps in between. We always comes across CVs or people where they say the last time they studied was like 5 years ago. Sorry, for example, we can't do those kind of things because Australia takes it very seriously. So it has to be continued study or something like, for example, someone is in marketing profession, so they did their BBA first, then they worked for a couple of years. Now they want to do MBA. That makes sense, but so it should not have gaps in between. Third one is prospective career outcomes. That is something quite important because when you apply for student visa, we will like help you prepare this statement that is called um, genuine student statement. But something like you need to know, like after you finish your study, or your kid or your son or your daughter, after they finish their study, what's the prospects they're going to have, what kind of jobs they will get, what is the industries they can come back and do jobs with, what will be their tentative salary be like. We had a student visa a couple of months ago refused just because of that. Someone did not clearly mention the pathway. When they come back after this course, what benefit is this course doing to them? When they come back, what kind of job they can do, where they can work, what will be the pay? Like this is to the minute level the government wants to know. Similarly, genuine intention to study, whether you are trying to bypass the system to get PR or you actually want to study. So that will so include questions like why this course, why this institute, why Australia. So you need to answer all these questions. Certainly, we'll be preparing you for that, but we will be asking you all these things first, and then we'll be able to tailor a plan according to your needs. And the most important ones are ties to home country, like you have got a family to come back, you have got a business and all those kinds of things. This thing needs to be clearly mentioned in genuine student statement. Job prospects or business opportunities, what are they? And then coming back to financial capacity. Now, if someone, that's like you going to an expensive restaurant, when you clearly know you cannot pay the food, please don't take it to anyone personal. I'm just giving a general thing that you go to a five-star hotel. Say I go to a five-star hotel, I cannot afford the food, so the bearer who will be taking my order first, he wants to know whether I can pay that money or not. How? Okay, if I say yes, yes, I can pay. Some say, short example, say for example, I say yes, I can pay. So now he wants to know, show me the money, show me how you're gonna pay. Okay, I'm gonna take whatever money I've got, I put it on the table. Now can I get some food here? Exactly like that. So Australian government also wants to know how you're gonna pay for the fee, tuition fee. I will pay, I can pay, will not help. You need to actually show those funds. How you're going to pay fee, how you're going to be paying for your living expenses, how you're going to travel across and come back. When I say you could be the applicant, you could be the parent of the applicant. And then the most important thing, immigration history. Have you been to, or have I been to anywhere and I was denied entry? I stayed. I was given a tourist visa. I was caught over there, working over there, and all those kinds of things. So that is how clear, yeah, it can be. Once you have all this information, you can certainly come back to us, and we will certainly be able to tailor those things for you. Next one, please.
Brother, before that, I was thinking many
Did
of
you?
us in the call in our alumni member team or executive team, we have came to Australia like 20 to average 10 years ago.
It,
Listening to you for the last 5 minutes, I'm thinking it's like a project now. Like people
it is a,
really
it
need
is
to
a it is a
know.
project. It is certainly not at all easy. Please don't take it too seriously either. We are not here to scare you, but it's not like something which anyone can do or everyone can do. That's why in the beginning of it, I told you that you need to speak to a professional. And coming from Bangladesh or from any other country, there are many education agents there, but they are only good for that particular part where they can process someone's student visa and they come over here. The moment they come here, they will need someone like us. So it's always important to engage us beforehand, because we know all those things. We have already seen your paper. We have already spoken to your father, your mother, your uncle who's going to sponsor you. So all those things we will be able to compile it for you. Ji bhai.
Thank you.
Now comes the major thing, like what kind of funds do we need? Financials, like we were talking about earlier, financial capacity, like I gave you the example, going to Taj and then asking them, can you pay? Similarly, government wants to know. Now that's not like in the Taj example, I could be having 500 takas or I can be having 5,000. They are not worried, right? Whereas in Australia, the government has clear guidelines. How much do you need to have? Now, financial capacity wise, after your fee is paid, most of the people can, the easiest way or the best pathway is to get a student loan because we don't have any say. There are no institutes where you can bargain or you can talk to them and say, come kar lo fees or whatever. Whatever is their standard fee, so everyone has to pay. Person sitting next to you afterwards will be paying the same set of fees as well. So for fees, you people normally do it for with a student loan, excluding the student fee. Someone has to have, so this amount you're not going to pay to the Australian government. This is something you have to have in your pocket. 29,710 Australian dollars. Now, with the Australian dollar going up, so you can please compare it with your local currency as well, because sometimes, for example, if it is 35 lakhs now, for example, 6 months later with the dollar price increasing, that could be now 38 lakh, for example. So government doesn't says in your local currency, government says in our local currency here in Australia. So someone has to have $29,710. That is the minimum, plus they need to have the travel tickets, which will be approximately $2,000. So somewhere so around 32,000 minimum someone has to have in their pocket. When I say pocket, that is liquid assets, which could be in the form of bank statements, term deposits, etc. That cannot be gold, that cannot be property, that cannot be someone neighbor's bank account. That has to be your parents particularly, or grandparents, or sometimes in some cases uncle, aunt, mama, chacha, taya, etc. Those kind of people. And the minimum is $29,710. Now, if someone is married, for example, they want to have their partner coming over as well, it will add on 10,394 to this amount, 29,710. So close to plus the uh,
Yes,
travel
yes.
expense. If someone has got kids, for example, one kid will add on $4,449. This is the minimum someone needs to have to come, or to means when they have someone in the family who's thinking to come to Australia. Uh,
Thank you.
Okay, now this is the amount. Now comes the most important thing, because that is also one of the biggest challenges in our countries, that the source of fund. It has to be backed up by ITRs, income tax returns. I cannot have somewhere where I'm spending, where my ITR says 5 lakh, 6 lakh for the year, and in my bank statement I'm showing 35, 40, 45 lakhs. They're not matching. Pay slips. Again, my pay slip says 5 lakh for the year, 50,000 per month, for example. So let's take it 6 lakhs, so 50,000 per month, whereas my bank statement is showing 40, 45 lakh, 50 lakhs. Yes, someone sometimes may have sold a property or something, which we again need to explain it on with a CA statement pretty much. What is the source of fund? But, business financials, loan documents, and all those kind of things need to be there to back up those claims. Then comes the sustainability. Sustainability is something very seriously which the government takes. You may, or not to open up a new topic, but I'll just let you know. Some time ago, there was levels of countries, level 1, level 2, level 3. Those levels are based on the amount of scams or frauds coming for visa. Yeah, and unfortunately, our countries are on the lowest level, because the amount of scams is quite high. This is where it comes to sustainability. So I always tell to all my clients, if you cannot produce something, please say no, you do not have, you cannot do it. But don't go to the extra step, the next step, to organize it from somewhere which is not genuine, or unfair means. There is a pick called 4020 here, 4020. You could Google that as well, PIC 4020, that clearly says if the applicant's paperwork now 2 months later, 2 years later, 5 years later, sometimes people get a PR and they found out some documents were fake, that could be cancelled. So sustainability is quite important. What is the genuine genuine source of those funds which we are going to organize? Again, clear income pathway, which I have explained to you, the income should be complementing the ITR, the savings. The ITR will then show whether, so in my case, again, like I gave you the example of Taj, me going to Taj and then ordering food, I should be wearing those kind of clothes as well. That should be backing up my thing where I can go out and to. So similarly, when someone in your family wants to come to Australia, sorry, but if you haven't got these kind of genuine funds, unfortunately, so Australia isn't for you. Best practices to maintain funds. Now, many times we come across like, how long do you want these funds for? Again, there is no clear path or nothing. Like I said, if you have got pay slip now, that will be 5 months later, plus or minus, like 5 months before, 5 months after. That is backing it up. You have got your savings in the bank account. You have got all those things legitimately. So the government normally asks for up to 6 months of financials, but can ask for previous as well. And then within this 6 months, if there are something bigger amounts of money coming over, certainly we need to prove the income source for those. So clearly explain all major deposits, have backups for those. So if someone has sold a property, okay, you have sold a property, very good. You got 50 lakhs, excellent. Where is that property? We need to have there must have been a title for that property. Keep that with you. Okay, this is the property title. That was the valuation of that, according to the chartered accountant that time. This was for 50 lakhs. Here is the 50 lakh. That is the bank statement for that. Okay, fine. But if someone says, yes, this 50 lakh, oh, my uncle don't know, I don't know, or boom, boom, sorry. That's how it is. We'll certainly take questions after this, but let's go to the next one, please. Tawid bhai.
Sure. Brother, one of the question was, which is complementary to this. So before
Ji,
I
ji,
move on, that was someone was asking how long the fund need to be in the account to show that it's a genuine fund. It's a genuine fund, imagine, but how
ji,
long, like
ji,
in terms of
ji,
timeline?
ji, ji. I already answered this question as well, but I'll answer it again. 3 months to 6 months is the minimum statements which we put across on the student visa application. 6 months minimum. But in certain circumstances, or sometimes the delegate or the case officer, if they have any doubts, or even uh, sometimes without any concrete reason as well, they can ask for up to 12 months of
Okay,
statements.
thanks.
Now, this was something very, very common, that when people, okay, now let's think like the student, the family member, the applicant has come to Australia. Now, many a times we come across when people have, when students have come on a good course as well. The older students here or other people say, why are you doing this course? You should have done the PR course. There is no PR in this course. Why are you going on that course? So all those things are there. Now, they start asking us, can they change the course now? Now, if someone comes to Australia, they come on a what we call the Australian Qualification Framework, AQF. Now, if someone has come on a bachelor's course, for example, not to confuse you guys further or anything, I'll just give you a minimum, like I'll try to touch base with that. With the AQF level, if someone goes on, if you see this table which we have made, so someone wants same come on, someone came on a bachelor's course and they want to go on to a bachelor's course, which is a PR leading course, for example. Okay, they don't need to. They can change it easily as well. There is no visa. There is no implications to your visa at all. Okay. Now, if someone came on a bachelor's course and they want to downgrade that course to a diploma certificate course, or someone came on a master's and they want to go on to a bachelor's course, which is down,
Hmm.
which is stepping down, that is something which you need to which you need to do it very carefully. You need to have someone's professional advice first, because many a times you might need to apply for a new student visa. Now, when like in our previous slide, like we told you that you need to be explaining all these things, genuine student, why Australia, why now, why this course. So you will be contradicting your own self. You came for for example, MBA, for example, MBA, okay. Someone in your college told me there is no PR in MBA. For example, I'm saying, this is not something what I'm saying. Please don't take my words for that. But say for say some course you are doing, and someone told you you could have done plumbing course, for example. Okay, now, when so obviously you need to apply for a new student visa. Now, when you came from Bangladesh or from any other country, you told us that, okay, this is the course I want to do. We have got a family business. I will be joining my father, or there is a company here. I will be employed in that company as a manager. You will be contradicting your own self. So you need to be very careful when you change the course, and uh, uh, like which pathway you are taking on. That always raises concern about the intention that can lead to a visa refusal. And you must provide, like, if you're changing that course, you must provide a strong justification. What has changed now, compared to 6 months previously? Show clear links to your career pathways. Okay, for example, I wanted to do painting. I always say musician, for example. I want to be a, a musician. I always wanted to be, I was playing guitar earlier, but because my father wanted me to do BBA. So all those kind of things are there. This is just an example. So like I said, please don't take my words literally. This is just to explain you guys. And we need to submit a clear statement of purpose explaining all these things as well. So to conclude, same level, it is okay, safer. If you if you come down, you must uh, justify that properly, or there could be um, like that could lead to visa cancellation as well. Hmm?
Yeah.
Next one,
So,
So
please.
Said, wait,
consistency is very important then. Okay.
Consistency is important, but you need to explain why do you want to cancel
Hmm.
why do you want to
Change.
change your course now?
I have a
Said Bhai
question
wants
for
to.
Pushpinder ji,
Ji, ji,
if you can.
ji, ji.
Is it the law is changing now from 1st of April that you cannot do that now anymore?
No, no, no. This law change, like that is my next one. If you can please open next one.
Sure.
Now there's always a 6 months rule in there. Now, under certain minimum circumstances, if someone is seriously ill, or there is a death in the family, or someone cannot come to Australia, had to defer the course, or there was some other some other bad experience someone had, they can change within the 6 months, but the onus lies on the education provider. They have already planned you. For example, someone is coming for, say, 2 years of visa. They have already planned your fees. They have already planned your seat pretty much. So they will not let you go so easily. And there could be consequences with that as well. So within the first 6 months, it is highly, highly unlikely. Whereas after 6 months, obviously, no one can stop you or the applicant. They can change the course provider, and like they can change the course, they can change the institute, they can even change city as well. That's entirely up to them. So the new provider will automatically change or update the system for immigration. But again, sometimes this is something quite common, which is not in there. Sometimes students change their course after 6 months, but do not tell their previous education provider. See, this is something to do with courteous as well. You should always tell if you are or the applicant is not coming to their institute. Please tell them or inform them. At least they won't be paying, because they will be keeping on sending you fees, and like you have to pay the fees, and then that becomes messier afterwards. So again, there is no like, it's not a compulsion that you must tell them, but it is always a good practice to tell your previous education provider that since you have already found a new one, so that's why you're not continuing. But as a condition of someone's student visa, they always have to be enrolled in a course which is equivalent to their AQF level.
Thank you, brother, for clarifying.
Pushpan, I got one quick question regarding of
जी जी
this. One of our alumni asked me that question. That's
जी जी
um, he has completed his master's.
जी
So he did discuss with one of the migration lawyers who mentioned that now he can do the trade course because the subject he has finished that's not entitled to apply for PR.
जी
So he's suggested to do the painting courses, trade
जी
course, right?
जी
But at the same time, he doesn't have enough visa, like the student visa. He got only 3 months visa. So he was asking whether if he applied for the painting, if I mean, the enroll, because he finished the masters, is it
हम्म
going to affect any of his visa status? Because, technically, he got only one option is like to apply for the TR for
हम्म
18 months,
हम्म
but he can't fulfill his requirement. So,
जी
so he's in the middle of 22, like catch 22, whether masters, he's downgrading his trade course, new
हम्म
enrollment. If he can do that, he
हम्म
has to apply for a new visa, right?
जी
So is it going to be any problem if he
जी
apply?
जी I'll explain you this. Very
Yes,
good
please. Thank you.
question you have asked. See, someone told, okay, let's put it in this way. You are an employer, I'm your employee, right? I came to you as a profile to work like a manager. Okay, I can manage people, I can do this, I can do that, I can do very good, fantastic. So you gave me a job for that. After 6 months or after 12 months, I say, I want to do plumbing in your bathroom. Will you be happy? Will you be continuing to employ me? Right?
No.
See, when
Mm.
someone, okay, putting into the context here, if
Yep.
someone came here for a master's course, very
Mm-hmm.
good. They have done master. They came here for they gave the genuine uh, uh, GS statement that they want to do master. This is the prospects after they finish their study. This is the job they are going to employ. This will be the salary. Yes, wonderful. You got the visa. You finish your masters. after completing your master's, now someone suddenly wants to do a plumbing course, like for example, you
Mm-hmm.
said. Now, this is a big reason for visa refusal because
Oh,
your things are not matching what you're saying. So I mean the applicant, right? So
yep.
the applicant came here for masters, wanted to do the masters, finish the masters, but now wants to do plumbing. In saying so, doesn't mean that you cannot do it. There are other pathways, like for example, we get students sometimes, again, don't quote me for that. They sometimes do multiple courses at the same time. They can also, there is no condition that you cannot study on your temporary visa and all those kinds of things. So there are certain pathways which you can certainly see a professional migration agent, and we may be able to assist you with that. But coming to the straight answer to your question, that is highly doubtful, unlikely that the person will get a student visa because now they want to do a short-term course.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, coming on to the next one, this was something which you guys wanted to ask, like temporary graduate visa. Now, like we are going in a step-by-step pathway. First of all, we talked about student visas from overseas. Now we assume that we got the visa. Now we have finished the study. Now it comes now the completion has been the course has been completed. Now we can go for a temporary graduate visa. Now, with with immigration, that is sometimes normally there are visa prices change on 1st of July, which is the CPI change, the index pretty much like 2% or 2.5 or percent. So we always get like there is always a price hike for visas, but sometimes the visa fees could change without any uh, notices as well. Something like this just happened last month. Until 28th of February, the visa fee for a TR visa was 2,300, and on 1st of March, which I think was a Sunday or a Monday, on 1st of March, when we woke up, the visa fee changed to 4,600.
Double.
It's not some double. It's not something unfair. This is not something, because you must thinking why double the again, because there are lots of sham or scam paperwork coming. So the department has to employ more number of people to scrutinize those documents, and because of that, obviously, uh, the their wages comes from the visa application fees. So that's why there was the hike. Again, there is no official statement about this. This is just purely uh,
Market knowledge.
my market knowledge or my understanding. Again, please
Yeah.
don't quote me for that. Please don't come back to me saying on Facebook saying what I was saying was not correct. I'm not someone like who knows everybody. I've been saying it time and again. The purpose of this seminar is to do a one-on-one talk about what are the practical things, which is just general talk, general advice. Please don't quote me for saying that. I do not have anything to back up my thing or my claim what I just said. Now,
Understood.
with the $4,600 for the TR visa application, there could be some other fees associated with as well, like uh, PTE, IELTS test, police clearance certificates, medical examination, uh, health insurances, etc. They are all a part of it, which when once you do it with us professionally, we will send it to you beforehand. We will let you know beforehand what are the expenses. But there are sometimes some things which is beyond our control, which I uh, just told you uh, in February. That was 2,300. 1st of March, that changed to 4,600.
But
Next
just to
one, please.
get a feeling,
Dig,
brother, usually
dig.
in a year, this sort of inflation, which is the CPI,
One time
correction with
only.
the price happen once, twice? How many time you have seen?
Once only after 30th of June. So
Oh,
1st of July normally, and before 30th of June or 1st of July, we always know beforehand how much is the increase.
okay,
Sometimes it is CPI, sometimes it is more than CPI as well. Like
okay,
for example, student visa, it was like 1600 earlier, then it changed to 2000, etc., etc. So there could be minimum CPI, or there could be more as well. So, but normally the price hikes only happens once. But again, that is not something which is like always the case. Could be twice as well.
understand.
Right. Now, one of the next questions was age limit. Now, when students come here, normally it is assumed, like I told you in the beginning, not everyone will be doing their BBA, waiting for 5 years and then coming to do a MBA. So most of the students will be coming after 10 plus 2, or after BSc. Like even for PhD, most of their time will be coming for like after their master. So the government made a policy some few years ago, that after you finish the, when I say you, the applicant, after the applicant finishes their study, they have to be less than 36 years, or like 35 years plus 364 days pretty much. So less than 36 years to apply for temporary visa. Now the purpose of temporary visa is pretty much like whatever course you have done in Australia, that's the time to implement that knowledge, to gain some practical experience. That's the purpose of it. So the policy changed a few years ago, that now only people for 35 years of age or below can only apply for TR. Unfortunately, there isn't any exception for that, I'm afraid. So the easiest way you can do is, your age. When I say you, the applicants, being from the family or the applicants itself, when someone knows their numbers, their age, you don't wait for things to happen, like wait for another, I've got a visa. There could be a possibility you might have 6 months visa left in your uh, with you, but since you're turning 35 in a month and a half, don't wait for that time period, and then afterwards think now you can't apply. So plan plan ahead, apply well in time. Do not delay that, and certainly seek our help. Sometimes the visas thing like to be quite easy, and the best example I can give you is, like, I'm a part of many Facebook pages, and we cannot always comment on Facebook pages, but the amount of uh, wrong information which flows across on Facebook and other social media. Again, disclaimer: I'm not saying all of it, but sometimes I'm saying that sometimes that's not always the case. So it's always better to seek professional help. Thank you.
Thank
Next one, please.
you.
Okay, now we came on a student visa. We finished, like this is going all in step by step. We came on a student visa. We finished the study. We put our TR as well. We are working now as well. So what next? So that is a step by step. So student visa, TR, which is the opportunity for us to gain some valuable experience. Now what? So how can our kid or I can be permanent in Australia? Now there are two pathways for that. We will talk about both of them one by one. First of all, that is called general skilled migration. General skilled migration can be people who are in Australia. They have studied from Australia, or that could be someone sitting in, say, Maldives, or say Vatican, or say very like or Singapore, or say America, and they want to come to Australia. So general skill migration, normally what happens is that first of all, maybe I'm sorry, one step further. Sorry, I didn't see the slide. So for skill assessment, sorry, I'm just taking a pause here, and let's go one step back. So TR that you wanted to apply for the minimum age, the maximum age is 35 years. What are the pathways there? Now, that is the skill assessment post vocational stream. Say, for example, someone has done plumbing or those kind of vocational courses, or followed by post higher studies, like for example, bachelor's or master's. So for skill assessment for vocational courses, there needs to be a skill assessment, must be in the same occupation, and must be completed by the appropriate authority. So when it comes to skill assessments, there are two types of skill assessments. One is for general skill migration, which I was just talking to you now, but there is also one skill assessment for to apply for temporary visa, that is for vocational courses. For other courses like bachelor's and for masters, there is no need for skill assessment for this particular visa, but you might need a uh, not might, that you always have to have a skill assessment to apply for general skill migration.
Okay.
Yes, please. Next one, please. Yes, so sorry, this was the slide I was talking to you earlier, that once you have finished your temporary visa, now it's time to apply for permanent visa. Now, permanent visa, first of all, you need to have a skill assessment, and then your PTE IELTS score, and then it goes into a pool that's called the expression of interest. So whatever your studies are, whatever, based on that, whatever your age is, whether you are married, unmarried, single, or what's your qualification, etc. So based on that, there is points system which you can find online, or of course you can contact us and we'll be able to assist you with that as well. And then once you have the minimum score, or the minimum points needed are 65. Now, once you have more than 65 points, we can, depending on what course someone has done, we can apply for these three visas. 189, which is subclass 189 visa, which is independent skilled visa, which I'll be able to talk to you more about it. Then comes the 190, which is state nomination visa, and then there is the 491, which is a temporary visa leading to permanency visa. Now, let's talk about it one by one. Now, there is a skill list in Australia, which is quite vast. You may need to seek a professional advice to find out what course, what skill assessment body needs to verify. When I keep on talking about skill assessments, skill assessment is someone who's studied in Australia, or could have studied in Bangladesh, Canada, New Zealand, wherever, and then they need to, that's pretty much to verify whatever they have studied. That's called skill assessment. So there needs to be a positive skill assessment for someone to apply for general skilled migration visa. Now, based on that skill list, you can either be called for 189 visa, which is called skilled independent. So for this one, there is no need for sponsorship. You can be living anywhere in Australia. That means to get the invite for this visa, you need to be on uh, higher points for so in your field, and so invitation is purely based on uh, ranking. The more points you have, the more chances you have. You might have seen across, like sometimes people get their PR while they are in their country. Someone who hasn't been to Australia at all, but they say they have got a PR, they are going on a PR visa. That's how the
Mhm.
PR visa comes. Now, the expression of interest you put in, I will give you the heads up as well. Obviously, someone needs to have a skill assessment, someone needs to have the English score before. So it cannot be like, okay, I will get that score, let's put my points in the expression of interest. No, doesn't works like that. You need to have the score at the time of when someone puts the expression of interest for that. There could be a chance someone like me, for example, my skill is in the skill list. I did skill assessment, which came positive. I did PTE IELTS. I did, and based on that, there was my points could be 75, 80, 85, 90, 100, whatever it may be. Again, there is no guarantee that the peer that you will be called. I will be called for that. There maybe I may be having, for example, say 75 points. There may be people more than me. There will always will be people more than me. More more than my points, 85, 90, 95. So it is purely based on the higher points you have, the better it is. Again, points, we can talk about it as well. It depends on the age, depends on the experience, partner age, partner experience, not sorry, not partner age, partner skill level, and all those kinds of things are there, which we can certainly talk about it. Similarly, coming to 190 visa, that is a state sponsorship. There are some states in Australia, for example, say medical profession, which is something very common, say doctors, for example, like in South Australia, new companies are coming, so they need professionals like architects, engineers, etc. So the state may give you five. When I say you, say for example, I am the applicant. So let's take my example. So the state, so for example, I may have 75 points, but then South Australia is giving me 5 extra points to sponsor me. Now, when they are sponsoring me, I don't have to pay them anything to money for that, but they are giving me the visa. Based on that, I'm a say doctor, for example, in this case, so they want me to come to South Australia particularly, and live there and serve the community. That's how it works. When it comes to general skill migration, they are not concerned about how much someone is earning, how much bank balance someone may have. Not at all. So that's something we don't need to worry about. Like the second last point is must live, work in that state, nominating state, and state specific uh, are there. Like for example, if I'm a offshore candidate, I could be sponsored by whichever state. But if I am based in Australia, like in our case, I've finished my study. I'm on my TR now, finishing TR. So whichever state I am in, I can only pretty much apply for sponsorship for that state, because most of the states, most of them want the candidate to be working and living there for at least 6 months in general. Overall, there are some which need more, some which less. So again, don't quote me for that. This is because in the past, what was happening, say I was based in Victoria, for example, and then I was putting my expression of interest for Queensland, for Tasmania, for South Australia, for that was pretty much clogging the system. One applicant was putting 7 applications
Okay.
times number of applications. So that's why they come across with, if I'm onshore, if I'm not living or working in that particular state, I cannot put the nomination. Say, for example, I give you the example of South Australia. So if I'm a someone based in Australia, I want to put my application in South Australia, because now I know they are looking for doctors, engineers, which is the case for all the states anyway. So I need to go to South Australia first, live there for certain times. Again, all states have got their separate parameters, separate time limits, and which you can speak to us, and then we can talk to you about that. And once I have finished that timeline, then I can apply for the expression of interest, and based on that, I can get the invite for 190. Third one, which is the most common and the most number of seat allocations are there, which is a 491 visa. Now, 491 visa, the purpose of that is, in the past, because see, Australian immigration is quite experienced. That's in fact one of the best uh, uh, migration pathway someone can have, and the government or the organization always learns from their past history. So when people were coming in Australia, they were not able to sustain themselves. Someone like me who could be a big gun in my country might not be able to sustain when I come to South Australia where there is only like 5,000 people living in a place. I may not be able to find a job. I may not be able to do, and then I was going to the government asking for benefits. So based on that, this visa came. Again, this is my uh, uh, explanation only. Please don't quote me for that. This is not the case. That I may be completely off, but that's what it is. My understanding is so 491 visa. That's for someone to come to Australia, work for a period of 3 years. When I say, and it cannot be, you cannot take a shortcut that which is the most asked question. Can I come on a 491, be in my country for those many years and then can apply for a permanent visa? The answer is no, because you need to come. The government wants to come to Australia, feel the job pressure, work pressure, home pressure, whatever pressures, and once you're able to sustain with your family here, you do your third year of income tax year. The moment you get you finish your third year of income tax, you can then apply for the permanent pathway. Again, there are no caveats or no conditions with that. The only condition is you have to be living in that state, whosoever has sponsored you. Next one, please.
Thank you, brother. Just one more thing before we
Gigi.
proceed. These are the most popular and common one, is it?
These are the only ones. General skill migration we are talking
Okay.
about. The other one, after the TR case, like I was saying, there are two pathways. One is general
Hmm.
skill migration, which are these three visas. The other one is a sponsored visa, where after like you to gain experience, the company is able to sponsor you, and then after 1 year, the company is able to sponsor you, and then working for that company for 2 years. So you total get 3 years of paid experience. Uh, uh, so in your particular field,
Hmm.
the company is willing to sponsor you, then someone can go for the permanent pathway, but
Okay.
that will take time.
Okay.
So these are the key differences between them. Sponsorships needed, not needed. You can certainly, this will be shared with you anyway, so you can always take in your own time. Again, this is my analysis as well. Please don't quote me for something someone in 2021 189 was more than 19190. How can you say this is the lowest one? This is just general information, please. Thank you.
But I think this is a very important and easy slide for people to compare and
Very easy
understand.
slide to comprehend.
Very
That's
easy.
right. Yeah, very
Yeah.
easy slide to comprehend.
A
The
lot of
only one
information,
thing,
but in one page.
Gigi, the only one thing which I always tell clients, if we say that you can apply for GSM, your uh, general skill migration visa, many a times because there is cost involved with that, because you would be doing your skill assessment first, you will be doing your PT IELTS first, and then your partner would be doing it as well. So all those expenses will be beforehand. Then you apply for the expression of interest, and putting in the expression of interest will not guarantee you any promises or
Hmm.
any visas will be coming. So you may be called, you may not be called. But again, that's like buying a lottery ticket, or you could always be jealous saying that my neighbor
Hmm.
won one, because obviously the neighbor paid for the ticket, so bought the ticket. So you have to be
In the queue, you need to be in the queue basically.
in the queue to win it, pretty much. Yeah. So if you won't be in the queue, you won't be called. And again, coming on to the numbers, average 180,000 people, एक लाख 80,000 लोगों को हर साल पीआर मिलता है ऑस्ट्रेलिया का.
So good chance. There is very good
100
chance.
180,000, sometimes it's 160,000 or 65,000, but I'm just, again, please don't
Hmm.
quote me for that, but that's the number, average number, which includes partner visas, parent visas, all types of visas. uh, these visas as well, general skilled migration as well. So again, you have to apply for it, and obviously then only we can see whether you can or, and no one can tell your points before skill assessment, because sometimes I may say that I've got 16 years of experience. Yeah, I'm very experienced. I'm the best man in my job. Okay, let's go to do a skill assessment. Okay, skill assessment says, for example, the place where I did my bachelor's, that's
Hmm.
not valid.
Recognized. Okay.
That's not, yeah. Just an example I'm saying.
Hmm.
Okay, the 16 years of the experience which I'm saying, 2 years was not paid, 2 years was somewhere else, and based on that, I've only got 4 years of experience now, which they will be certifying in the skill assessment. So skill assessment is the thing which will tell you and me what's your points are, which cannot be challenged afterwards.
Okay.
Cannot be challenged means, obviously there obvious means,
Hmm.
don't again quote me for that, means like that's something which is
It's a
we have
validation
something.
process basically. So once you've done
Yes,
the skill assessment,
validation
you are
process.
valid for it. Okay.
Ji. Similarly, so the steps we follow is that we ask for, okay, now coming on to this one, this is something quite important. This is completely I have made out of it. Means all of them I have made, but this is something which I always come across and I tell my clients as well. We can only control the controllables. We cannot control the uncontrollables. Something which isn't, which is not in our hands, we cannot control it, we should not be worrying about it. Let's see those. So controllable factors. Controllable factors, English score. Yes, I can change. Again, we cannot go from, means this is again from my experience. Again, don't quote me for that. Someone cannot go from 5.5 band to 7 band each. Will not work like that. But certainly from 5.5 to 6 or 6.5 to 7, so that the control lies with us.
Hmm.
I am the applicant. I have to undergo English test. I have to do this. That is something which I can control. Relevant work experience. The first word is very important. Relevant. I may be like in my example which I gave you, 16.
Hmm.
I've got 16 years of experience. Does not works like that. The thing what I am applying for that managerial part. For example, I was only working 2 years in the, yeah, as that manager. Previous to that, I was an agent. I was a plumber. I was doing something else. Though I was in the same company,
Hmm.
doesn't works like that. 16 years will not count. So so that's something which is in our hands. Partner points, whether you have a partner, don't have a, obviously that's something which you cannot control. But certainly the partner points can be controlled. What is the uh, skill level of the partner? What is, and uh, they can also give the English test and then control that as well. State strategy, that was like I gave you an example that I am based in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, wherever, when I'm onshore, and I see, say for example, Tasmania gave these many people, this many number of people PR. Again, I cannot be complaining while I'm in Sydney. I That is something controllable. I
Hmm.
can go to Tasmania, live there for whatever the minimum is. Again, like I said, we have got a list of those which we can talk about. I can go
Okay.
to South Australia to Perth. That is something which I can control. NATI CCL, that is something quite important as well. That's, I call it uh, IELTS in Bengali, for example. Similarly, you
In your
give
local language, basically.
local language, could be Bengali, could be Hindi, could be Urdu, could be any language which you think you can pass. Again, that's not something piece of cake like everyone can pass. It is tough because they will ask for verb, proverb, like all those kind of terminology, and this you can certainly see their website. But if that's something which you can control, and if you pass that, you get 5 points for that. Again, professional year is something for some specific professions while they study in Australia. Regional study, which we haven't covered in the past, like on the student slide, but government gives you 5 extra points if you do not come to Sydney or to Melbourne. Do not. If you ask anyone, where do you want to go? The first preference is either Sydney or Melbourne. Okay, you can come. There is no one is stopping you to do that. But if you go to any other place other than these two, three places, metropolitan Brisbane is one of them as well, you get 5 extra points in when you apply for general skill migration. Um, Multiple EOIs again you can put while you're offshore or onshore, depending on what's the eligibility like. You can put more number of the expression of interest. So these are all controllables. The control lies with you, with me as the applicant, or with me. I'm the agent. I can certainly tell you, can you pass CCL or can you pass NATI? Yes, I can. Okay, I can only tell you or advise you. At the end, the onus is on you. You have to pass it. If you pass, you get 5 points. So if not, we are deprived of 5 points. Now, the other one is the uncontrollables, which we cannot control. So we should not worry about it, and try to work try to work uh, around it. For example, age is something which will always be going higher. We cannot control it, so no point taking tension for that. I'm going to be 35, I'm going to be 40, I'm going to be 44. Doesn't matter, whatever it is, do your best. Put your application as soon as practical, not possible, practical. Again, the occupation, if you have done an MBA, and which we have discussed, depending on that, if you are a plumber, if you are a doctor, engineer, depending on the occupation, this is not something which you can control now. This you could have controlled 10 years ago when you were doing your 10 plus 2. You cannot control it now, so let's not worry about it now, but try to carve out something, whatever you currently have. Occupation ceiling, some professions have limited invitations. You cannot do anything about it. Some professions have limited invitation. Does not mean they will not be called. Sometimes you get five invitation rounds, and then sixth, 5 times that particular thing hasn't been called, but then the sixth time they will give 200 vacancies. Again, don't quote me for the number, just an example. They might give 50 visas to that particular occupation, 200 to that occupation.
So
Doesn't
that
mean it.
demand and supply, we as an individual
Demand and
cannot
supply. The
control.
control
Okay.
lies with the government. No one can ask them that I'm a uh, dietitian, for
Hmm.
example. Why from the last 5 times why you haven't called me, when it clearly says in the
Hmm.
skill assessment that dietitian is a part. Again, just an example. So there is no way like people can control the government invites you. The only one thing which you can control is you have to be in the pool to get invited, to put your best effort in there. And and one last thing is that that's not just the point. It's like how many points you might be, which I gave an example already. Like you might be having 95 points, the minimum is 65. I've got 95 points. What are you doing? Like people complaining me, what are you doing, and as the agent, I cannot control it. I do not have shortcuts. I do not have under the table where I can pay someone and say, okay, call this guy or invite this guy. Doesn't works in Australia like that. You might be having 95 points, minimum is 65, but there may be people who might have 110 point, 115. Who knows? No one knows that. only the
Understood.
only the people who see the expression of interest knows that. So they do not put that data. But yes, when they call the particular candidates, they tell everyone, okay, we have called a we have called this Doctor, 115 points. We have called this plumber, 95 points. So now we know plumbers have got, like, for example, again, I'm saying this could be anything
Hmm.
like those, like that's how it works. So we should not, or we cannot be worrying about these things. The only thing we need to worry about is the controllables. Whatever we can control, whatever is in our hands.
So we put the focus on the controllable. Okay.
On controllables. That's always needed. Again, I'm telling again, people can contact me, and certainly we can put the expression of interest after paying so much money, putting the expression of interest. There could be a chance you may not be called ever. But again, we can always work on the controllables from time to time. One thing which is quite common as well. Now I had 75 points. Can I've so already put my expression of interest. Can I do nati now and to increase my points? Yes, you do your nati, you give me that five, and I will put that into the expression of interest. Now my candidate has also passed nati, add 5 extra points. Earlier your points were 75, now they have turned to 80 now.
Yeah.
Sweet. So we will be managing the expression of interest for the next 2 years, which is valid. But there is one thing which I've told earlier as well. Now also I'm going to tell you the same thing again. We cannot be having something which we can speculate. Uh, for example, PT or English is the most common. People say, when I came to Australia, I had 7. So I haven't got any time. I haven't got any dates available. Can you put the expression of interest now? And by the time you put it, 2 days later, 7 days later, 15 days later, I will send you the 7 each IELTS. The answer is no, because I can do that. You can do whatever you want to, but when it comes to the time of invite, when the case officer picks up, okay, the candidate is invited, and then they see the IELTS, the expression of interest was put on 7th of March. The IELTS came on 13th of March. Why, like how can someone say on 7th of March that I'm going to have 7 each? The IELTS was done later on. Sorry, that is cancelled. And once the expression of interest, once the invite is cancelled, one cannot have the same expression of interest invite for at least 12 months again. Pretty much
Wow. Like it's
that's
like a
pretty
bar.
much a
They will
ban
bar
on.
you
Yeah,
for a time.
yeah,
Okay.
bar for a period of 12 months. So it's always important, whatever we have concrete in our hand, we only claim those many points as well.
Yeah.
Moving to the uh, regional areas, I've already explained you that once you go for study, you get 5 extra points. There are more opportunities, more flexible requirements in the states. See, everyone thinks, including myself as well, migrants think I should only be going to Sydney and Melbourne because there are more opportunities, more employment. Yes, of course there are compared to other areas, but you have also got more competition as well, and government doesn't, and that puts stress on public transport, housing sector,
Everything.
everything. So that's why government is pretty much giving an incentive for new migrants to go to other places, explore more opportunities there, and try to excel there. Next one, please. Now, occupation switching to PR. Again, depending on what course you have done, you cannot just, like you gave me the example, someone came for an MBA and now want to do plumbing. Again, there are ways like how you can do it or not, but again, that's not something which is recommended. You cannot just be switching to those courses where you want to do PR. So because that needs a lot of other things, like for example experience, your past study, your English score, your work experience, etc., etc., and all those kinds of things are there. So you need to have so this is very, very important, and that's where what I said in the beginning, that people come from the the local agents based in their country. Now the local agents send those candidates based on their their own interests. Say for
Mm.
example, the MBA college is giving them some more money, they will push every person to MBA without thinking their future prospects. So that's why that's quite important. You contact us. We based in Australia. A, we cannot provide any false information for you to you. B, we do not have any personal motives or other
Gains.
benefits. And C, once you are with us from day one, we can be more responsible as well. For example, someone came to me after 10 plus 2. I'd ask them, okay, do this course, okay, now do this, now do this. Now after 5 years, I cannot wash my hands. Oh, sorry, you are not getting PR. Sorry, that's not. No, that doesn't works like that. Once someone is with me 5 years, they have done all those things what I have told them, recommended them. There are very high chances they may be able to get PR. Again, there is no guarantees. There is no uh, shortcuts, kickbacks, or anything like those. But again, like we always like I always particularly work on facts. Two people did this. This was their points. They got their PR. So based on that, I'm saying you have also a chance. Again, tomorrow they stop that path completely. Again, there is no guarantees. That's what I'm saying. But again, based on facts, we can always uh, recommend that. Next one, please. Question and answers. So I believe I've told you there are lots of visas, lots of other information in there, but the key things to take is the controllables, and the most important thing, no sham documents or no documents either financial or educational where you think, because you might come across many times news cutting. Someone was studying here for 2 years, they went overseas, and while coming back they were caught at the airport. Why now? Because this takes time for the government. So it's not like that the government in government in Australia wants, okay, now since you are paying us the money, that's what normally how it is put on Facebook and other medias as well. I was paying money, then that time it was okay. They never caught me that time. Now since I have finished my course, now they catching me. No, that's not the case. To find out these things, it takes time. It's not, if they were to know someone's documents are fake, they will not let them come into the country at the first place itself. Whether the education institute will be going in a negative, that's not bothering the government. So please don't put any fake documents or any other financials which do not belong to you. And yes, this is your opportunity to ask questions if you may have any.
Someone in the
As a
chat or anything, if there is any questions or anything. But in the
So
same
so
time, I would like
for
to take the opportunity to thank the brother and basically for the NDC alumni member. So brother was kind enough to give us a bit of a special offer. So if anyone uses our reference and contact Pushpinder, so he will honor it. Okay.
yes, 100% honor that. And please don't think that there is no fixed number on this one percentage, or because there is no fixed price for anything.
Okay.
But we have tentative prices which we can talk about, and then we'll certainly look after you once you mention that you have come from this platform.
Sure.
thank
Next
you
one,
so
please.
much, Pushpandaji. It's really appreciable. But at the same time, we don't have any question and answer. I think you
Next one,
have
please.
covered
Next. Can you
covered a
please
lot
go
of
next
questions our
slide?
alumni had.
That's right. Thank you.
Um, so all the viewers, I'd love to request you to just mention you one more time. This webinar is only for educational purposes. So please do not use any of the information for professional reason. If you required any advice, professional advice regarding a visa or residency purpose or any applications, Pushminder Bedi's all details in this template. You can take a notes, or also I will email all of you all his details. So as Pushminder rather mentioned that if you mention NDCAAA, which is stands for Notre Dame College Alumni Association Australia, he will honor you a discount. So I'd love to give special thanks to Pushminder Ji for your time and effort from on behalf of NDCAAA, all the association members, and also Tawhid to run the show as always. Thank you so much for your contribution. Sajid Bhai, if you have any few words to say. Mute.
Thank you very much, Pushpinder Ji. Thank you, really helpful. And as Simon said, any questions, please forward to us. We'll pass on to Pushpinder Ji, and if you can answer it later on. But thank you very much for your help, and really appreciate it. It was very, very, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is the opportunity for every one of us to come together. Please don't think I'm not from Bangladesh, so I may not be able to understand you. I have been a migrant myself. My parents are with me, so we have gone that path of partner visa, parent visa, student visa, all those visas. So please contact us. We may be able to assist you.
Thank you so much, brother. And I think throughout the whole presentation, initially I was thinking is just to come to Australia as a student. It's not that. You basically explain the sustainability and the whole pathway till someone gets